everybody.
Yeah, you too, brother. How are you?
Doing good, man. Doing good.
Busy
How about you?
week?
Yes, always busy.
That's a good thing. Before
No,
we start, I just
it's
have to
cool to do
say,
this. I don't know if you guys know, but my background is also lead gen agency. So like 2 years ago,
oh,
2.5 years ago, um, we
we know
launched a lead
everything,
gen
brother.
agency.
we like I just have
Okay,
to
cool,
say,
cool.
I made so much money off of Instantly. Like, thank you for creating it.
Awesome, man. That's
Like,
great to hear. That's the goal,
like
man. Like just to create a
I bought
tool that
20
makes people
LTDs.
money.
So on AppSumo, I have like 20 LTDs, and I like made so much and saved so much. Like, I just want to personally thank you, like, for creating it.
Awesome, man. Yeah, that's the goal. Creating a tool that makes people money. Like when I hear stories about like, the other day was an 18-year-old. He's making like 15K a month. I was at dinner, and then one guy tells me his friend started a marketing agency, and 4 weeks later he made like 21K thanks to Instantly. Stuff like that is like why we created the tool.
Just one question before you start. When would you add the move to campaign feature? So like in the Unibox, like when will that be added?
I think that's added already. Move to campaign
No,
or
there's
move to
only like the
subsequent.
subsequence. No, only subsequence. The option below it, like I don't see it.
Yeah, we are probably gonna add that soon. Let me see.
Yeah. Because like
There might be some yawn
it's
stuff.
been saying coming soon, like for like 6 months. Like so, that's my only like not like even issue. Like we don't use the Unibox to reply, but I also consult some people, and they told me, yeah, like when will that be added? And I was like, I don't know. I'm not the maker of the tool.
Yeah, you should be able to move to another campaign if you mean
I'll
that.
check.
Like when you click
The
move lead.
subsequence works. Like below
Yeah.
it. I'll send you like a screenshot later.
Yeah. Yeah, subsequence and the one below it that says to another campaign should work as well. But if it doesn't, let me know.
Okay.
All right, boys, let's get this
So
started.
let's see who's in the chat. Let's see. Okay, so I think we're missing a few people, but I think we can start. So.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Whenever you're
they
ready.
usually come late. So Nils doesn't need any fucking introduction. I think everyone knows who he is. Co-founder of Instantly, and has also been running a lead generation agency 2 years ago. So without further ado, I think we're just gonna let Nils do his thing. He's gonna have a short little presentation, and then we're gonna do some Q&A afterwards. But Nils do have a hard stop at, was it 6:45? So 45 minutes.
Yep.
All right.
Okay, right. Yeah, we can jump in.
Let's
We can
fucking
jump
go.
into it, man. Yeah, and Gus, thanks for having me on. It's good to meet you. I mean, we talked a little bit on Twitter. It's always good to read your tweets. You know, even when I read your tweets, I get hyped up. So it helps me up to some more volume with our internal campaigns.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, guys, like I think I always like to jump on communities and calls and stuff. Like I was talking at the beginning of the call, we used to have a lead gen agency like 2.5 years ago, until like last year even. We were running Instantly and the lead gen agency simultaneously in parallel. But yeah, that's my background too. Like that's how we got started with my two business partners, co-founders, and we kind of transitioned from having an agency to building the SaaS. But just so you guys know. But yeah, let me jump into it. I'll go for a little presentation. And feel free to also drop any questions. I'm not sure if we're going to do the questions in a chat or like we can do them over voice, but let me see. I'll close a couple windows and then.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes people's a little shy, so they want to ask it in the chat, but sometimes we bring them up.
Yeah. Oh, this is my first time using Discord screen share, so maybe let me check. I have to enable the permissions. Maybe I have to restart it. 1 second. Okay, guys, I'll have to quit and reopen, but I'll be back in like 30 seconds.
No!
Then I can share my screen. 1 sec.
So Nathan, do you have a little funny joke that you can tell us in the meantime?
Yeah. So what's the first sentence or the first 3 words you see in a campaign and you know it's written by ChatGPT? Does anyone know the answer?
Oh.
So let's see in the chat. Yeah, yeah. I hope this email finds you well. So that's my joke. So if it says, "I hope this email finds you well," then you know, okay, this was written by GPT or
Yo, Nathan,
Perplexity
you need to
or.
move Nils up. He's fucking raising his hand. Oh, I can do it.
Oh, okay.
I can do it.
We sent you an invite to speak. Awesome.
Okay, cool.
Awesome.
All right, I'm back. All right, let's jump into it. I'll go through a couple of things here. Sorry, guys, I'm sometimes a little bit of a boomer. I never used Discord to screen share, but let's see. Can you see it now?
Let's see. Yeah. So many notifications.
Okay, cool. All right, yeah, just go through this one quickly. Usually call it like sales opportunities, right? Like how I said at the beginning.
We don't see anything.
Yeah, we see the Discord UI, or it's like just us in the group, in the chat. So just one thing for the audience: write out your questions in the chat, because like if you have them, write it out right now so we don't forget them. So be creative.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I think now you should see it. But
yeah, it works.
I'll go for this pretty quickly. I just want to give you like an overview, right? We build instantly just so people can get more opportunities, sales opportunities, can make more money. And just some screenshots about internal campaigns. Like we're still running a lot of campaigns internally to generate demands and more leads as well. This is just like each time just from one day. And this is a recurring theme, right? You just have to, if you're not getting results, I'm not sure about like where you guys stand, if you already have like some clients, if you already have like 20 clients, but that's usually a common theme I see with people that just don't launch enough campaigns, they don't do enough volume. And yeah, the more proof you kind of have that this actually works, the more you're going to launch campaigns, and then you're going to get results, and then it's an upward spiral from there. But yeah, just a couple of screenshots of like people crushing it, and the best one to last, Gus, I will share this one, like 747 opportunities in just 4 weeks. So yeah, just like showing proof, right? This stuff works. Cold email works. And you just have to send a volume and launch a bunch of campaigns. And then we have this guy, right? You can just turn ideas into text into opportunities. But in terms of specific tactics, scaling trick, what I usually like to use is beast mode. So if you quickly need some secondary sending domains, you can just go here. And let's say your lead gen agency is called sales feed as an example. You can just type in here sales feed as a keyword, and then append prefix and suffix, and then just use .coms and generate. And then you'll see a bunch of different domain names that you can use for your secondary domain names. And you can just select them from here instead of having to go through it like manually, having to manually check. Just buy a couple here, add them to cart. You can buy them from Namecheap or GoDaddy, like both work well. And yeah, they're just 5 users per domain. We usually like cap it at 5 to 10 domains per workspace. Yeah, then right, sometimes these ESPs don't really like cold email, and we always recommend to kind of diversify your sending inboxes. So just having a mix of like G Suite, Outlooks, and you can also do provider matching under the like advanced options tab. You can click that and enable that, and then we'll send Google to Google, Outlook to Outlook, just for a little deliverability boost as well. So that's another tactic. So we have the secondary sending domains and provider matching. And then the other day we did like a data analysis. We analyzed 32 million cold emails, and we just wanted to see, okay, what's the optimal number of steps in a cold email sequence? And just from analyzing it, we found like sometimes people say, hey, you have to have 5 steps, 6 steps in your cold email sequence. Usually we noticed here like there's like a steep drop off after like the 3rd or the 4th step here. So usually if you have 2 or 3 steps, that's the majority of the replies you're going to be bringing in. And yeah, like if you keep sending with on a 6-step, 7-step, and so on, you're just more likely to land in a spam. So I would just keep it short and sweet and concise. See if they respond. If they don't, hit them up again once more, and after that you can just move on to the next lead. But in case anybody was unsure about that. Another little trick is follow up the pulls and replies. So let's say you have a campaign, maybe started off well, but then it's dropping off a little bit in performance. You can always add, let's say, a little funny follow-up. So there's a couple of the replies that people get, right? They didn't reply to the first cold email, but then they replied to the second one, and then you get them from there. And the way that looks like, it looks a little bit like a meme or a joke, but it actually works just like a cute jiffy. And then you can even say this for yourself. This works pretty much right for any niche or angle. Hey, first name, if I'm not able to get your attention, I do hope this cute little penguin will be able to kind of butter them up, make them a little bit more receptive to the pitch, and then you can transition into the pitch from here. But this has been working well as well. Usually the first step is like plain text, just to make sure you land in the inbox. And once you're placed there, even if you have a jiffy or an image or a link in the second email, it's easier to place in that inbox. But yeah, there's another tactic. Guys, you still here? Everybody good?
Yeah.
If you have any questions, let me know. Okay,
We're
cool.
just eating the sauce, consuming it.
Okay, cool. Then international campaigns is another good one. Like also with our lead gen agency back then, sometimes we had clients, from Germany, from Sweden, from the Netherlands, and really like having either in their native language. Right, how we set it up is we had like a fixed setup fee at the beginning. We're selling it like for quite low, like 3K setup fee or 3.5K setup fee once we were a little bit more established and we had more case studies as proof and we got better at closing the clients. Then we're also able to charge a higher setup fee, like 6, 7, 10K setup fee. And after that, we just charged per positive reply. And right after setup fee, it was pretty much performance based. We would only charge right at the end of the month. We would tally up all the positive replies we got for any given client and then charge them based on that. Then we're like obviously super incentivized to get them more. And for example, one German client, he had like a business coaching offer, had really good case studies, but the campaigns weren't really getting traction. And we had them in English at the beginning. We're just targeting Western Europe, just English copy. Then we switched it to making the copy in German. You can even ask the client to do that, right? If they're for them to translate it and maybe put their own little spin on it. But then we ran the German language campaign in Germany, and it was like printing money for the client, and they were super happy. Also, same for Swedish. We had a Swedish client. If you have an English offer, and more like of a global offer, you can do that too, like running some campaigns like in Brazil or in Mexico in those native languages. In Brazil in Portuguese, Mexico Spanish, obviously. And then there's also like other pockets of English speaking offers you can target, right? Like in Singapore, Panama, Middle East, Israel, Ireland, Scandinavia, Australia, New Zealand, Baltics. Sometimes these countries are a little bit overlooked. Obviously, US is the best and biggest market, but it's also the most competitive and saturated. So if you just, it's always worth to like launch a campaign in one of those geos, in one of those pockets, and see how it performs. It may have a less competition there. What else? Also, like one important thing is kind of non-reply conversions. Like make sure, right, when you're doing either lead gen for yourself, that your website looks solid, that you show up in Google search results, that your LinkedIn is there. Usually check out LinkedIn before they do Twitter, if they're more like established older business people. But yeah, just make sure that at some point, like a lot of times, right, they will get a cold email, take your secondary sending domain, paste that into the URL and check out your website before deciding whether they want to reply or not. Just make sure that secondary sending domain also redirects to your main website, just so, right, they have proof that you know your stuff. I do that a lot as well. Like if I receive a cold email, and I check out the offer. I'll check out the website first before deciding to reply. But yeah, just keep that in mind. Also, like giving feedback to your clients if you're struggling to get results for your clients. Ask them to add more case studies to the main website, making some changes there. And ideally, they already have that, because sometimes it's difficult for somebody to not have it, to change it for them if it's not you and it's your client. But yeah, you can, as you scale and you get 5, 10, 15 plus clients, after that, you can be a little bit more picky who you work with. But yeah, that's it. Just a couple of kind of tactics. I know you guys are lead gen agency owners, more advanced. So for anything else, also happy to do like a little quick Q&A session here. And yeah, that's it.
Very nice. We got a lot of people. So we got Jonas that wants to speak. Let's get him up here.
Hi, thank you for the presentation, Nils. So I'm just interested in, did you notice that Ninja Leads is down? I'm looking to maybe start using D7 Lead Finder for scraping. But in terms of volume, what do you recommend, Nils?
So in terms of volume for a good B2B lead database, I'd say, Apollo, Find Email, and now also our own lead finder. We have lead finder now. If you want like a lot of volume of verified leads for cheap, that's probably the way to go. I mean, we only launched like 3-4 months ago. So Apollo has been in the game for like 7 years. If I had to like pick one, maybe go with Apollo, but you can also try the Instantly Lead Finder.
What's the problem with the D7 Lead Finder? Why is it not recommended?
D7 Lead Finder, I'm not familiar with it, so I can't really say whether it's good or not.
If I can just add a few sentences, I think that the issue with D7 Lead Finder is that I don't think it's updated data. So Jonas, if you want to do like Google Maps or local businesses, I would use Outscraper. So that's like a tool that scrapes live data off of Google. And then you can get either the company email address. So like some of these local businesses, so let's say a bakery, most likely even if they have a domain, they use like a Gmail or a Outlook, like a free one. So you have to use that one and just find the owner's name or the founder's name. Or what you can also do is it will give you like a Twitter link and a Facebook link to the company profile, and then you can maybe research the email using that strategy. D7 Lead Finder is cool, but I think it's like overused. So I would use Outscraper and Scrap.io.
Is it possible to type it somewhere in the chat?
Yeah, of course, yeah. I'll type it out for you. No worries.
Thank you very much.
All right, Nils, we got a question around how many email accounts per domain, and your opinions on that to kind of avoid getting burned.
Yeah, so usually I say 3 to 5 email addresses per domain. Like 3 is a little bit more conservative, 5 is a little bit more aggressive. So it depends on how aggressive you want to go. Usually you should be fine with 5, but it's a little bit more risky than 3.
All right. And what is, in your opinion, like the best way to test the email copy? Is it like a bunch of different split tests, and how do you kind of do the whole testing phase? Is it short copy versus long copy? Is it different call to actions? How do you kind of do the whole testing? And how many emails do you feel like you kind of need to send before drawing any kind of conclusions?
Yeah, I would. In that case, we usually also with our internal campaigns, we just throw stuff at the wall and see what sticks. So we don't really have like an elaborate process on how to split test. If we come up usually we come up with some short and concise copy, come up with some targeting and the angle, and then just start sending. And then if we see after 300-400 emails that it's working, we'll continue to scale it up. If we barely get any replies, then we'll move on to the next one. But it's basically just firing off a bunch of campaigns quickly and launching them quickly. I wouldn't worry too much about split testing, statistical significance and all that. Just launch a bunch of different campaigns.
All right, so we got Peter up in here.
Hey Nils, I had a quick question for you. So I've got a client well, probably won't be a banger. But quick question. So we've been sending emails from the person who was taking the calls, right? That person's no longer with the company, so we need to switch like who the emails are coming from. Do I need to completely rewarm up the domain, or can I just create 3 new accounts and the domain's good?
Yeah, if it's under the same domain, then you should be fine. You can usually it's on a domain level where it's warmed up, and you should be fine with other names or the email addresses under that. You can already start sending.
Yeah, so
I would
just
even like continue using the other ones, like the old ones of the person that left. Maybe keep using them like for additional volume, and then just say, hey, like somebody else is going to jump into the inbox, reply and say, I'm jumping in for my colleague. I'll have the call with you.
Cool. Yeah, that was
honestly just change the calendar link. Sorry for interrupting. And like you don't want to like turn off the domain or like remove the user. You can just change the name, and it's fine. You just like if you use a Workspace or Outlook, you can just change the name. So before the @ that should be okay.
sweet. Cool. That's all I got for you guys. See ya.
Okay, cool. See ya.
All right, we got Snooze up in here.
Hello, guys. Can you hear me all right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, Nils, thank you for coming to our community. I just wanted to say that I really enjoyed the content on the YouTubes. Your colleague has been making some awesome series. For example, the one with a beginner where they're starting an agency. I think it's dead, it seems like, but I really love that series.
Yeah, I tried to convince him to continue it, but it's too busy, unfortunately.
I mean, it makes sense, but I love the content. Anyway, my question is a little bit regarding GDPR. So I know you're not a lawyer, I'm not a lawyer. So when I did my research looking into it, it seems that cold email, even in the EU, is legal because as long as you're emailing people with not with their personal emails like at Gmail, but at a specific domain, and you have a legitimate interest, which is basically you're trying to help them grow or etc., like selling services that are related to help them, that can be said that it's in their interest, and you have an option to opt out. So for example, I could in my emails I have a reply not interested if you don't want to receive emails anymore. So my question really to you is, you must have received this question a billion times. So have you maybe talked to a lawyer, and what have they said about GDPR, if you know anything about that? And part 2 is, does Instantly, or will it have this function where I can upload a leads, or for example, a client list for that I can use like a negative list. So for example, I'm creating a campaign. I want to make sure that it is not sent, in case I upload like 10,000 contacts, I want to make sure that it is not sent to these specific people. So for example, how do I do that? And is there a function for that already, or will there be?
Yeah, so for the negative list, there's a function for that already. It's called block list. You can check it out in the settings. Then like any people that you don't want contacted, or any domains that you also, just like if you want to blanket domains and say don't contact anybody from there, you can exclude, you can have them excluded. In terms of the GDPR stuff, right, there's not legal advice. You have to do your own research. It really depends, like from where you're sending, what country you're from, where your leads are from, and so on. But generally, especially US, also EU, if it's in a B2B context and the message is relevant and they have a way to opt out, then cold email, cold outreach is totally legal.
Thank you. That's all I wanted to ask.
There's billion dollar companies like ZoomInfo or SalesLoft or Outreach. Right? These are huge companies, also huge companies in Europe, that use cold email or offer cold email.
So Snooze, sorry for interrupting again. So if it's an Apollo, then it's okay to outreach to them because Apollo got the data legally. And also for GDPR, you just have to have an opt-out. So reply no if you don't want to receive messages. That's all you need. You don't want to send a link to her deliverability, and that's all you need to know. So that's the only rule. That's the only difference between US and EU. You have to have that opt-out, and you're 100% safe.
All right, so we got
to go. Still do your own research. Some countries are a little bit more strict than others. For example, Germany is more strict than US. So always check for yourself.
Yeah, would you do it in Germany?
Germany, I told you about this client, business coaching client, when we were running the lead gen agency. Sometimes you would get some nasty replies. So
Yeah.
Germany seems a little bit risky to me. I don't know 100%, but I would prefer to target other countries over Germany.
All right. Well, we got the golden boy Tate.
So guys, thanks Nils for your time. Really appreciate it. You mentioned earlier about the follow-up sequences, about how it's better to keep it short and sweet. After the third reply, people start to drop off anyway. Do you follow the same kind of thinking for replied or interested replies, where maybe you offer to send more information and then if they said sure, and then they kind of just ghost you? Do you still do just 3, or does it make more sense to have 5, 6? What are your thoughts on the interested but ghosted replies?
Yeah, good question. So if they're interested and then they ghost you, I will follow up more than 3 times, keep following up with them. Maybe not every day, but even 6, 7 times until they say okay, no, I'm not interested anymore. But if they shown interest, sometimes people are busy, they forget, still kind of chase them a little bit to get that meeting.
Got it. Perfect. Thank you. And then the only other question I have is, do you have typically a maximum amount of emails that you'll send daily from one inbox? Typically?
Usually we set the max at 50 per day per inbox.
Got it.
Then if we want to scale further, then we'll just get more domains.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Of course.
Oh, Pete again.
Yeah, hey, I thought of another question. So I'm meeting with a prospective client, and they are a pharmaceutical management software. So basically, they have software that helps pharmacies run their business, independent pharmacies. Their total accessible market is about 40,000 people. They already have 4,500 customers, and everybody in the market already knows who they are. They've already got most of the market on their list from actual opt-ins. How would you adjust your cold email strategy for a market where everybody's very solution aware, and maybe has already consumed a bunch of your content? Basically what I think I'm going to pitch them is taking a more consultative approach rather than a direct to sale approach, but I'd love your thoughts on how you adjust in situations like that.
Yeah, that makes it probably easier if they already know the solution or they know the brand. The majority of the target addressable market knows who they are. That's going to make the outreach easier, and you're more likely to get more replies. So I would even manage the campaigns for them, maybe charge per positive reply or per meeting. Maybe because they're so known, maybe you have to charge a little bit less per positive reply, but I'd still go for the direct to sale.
Sweet. Yeah. So yeah, I definitely agree that it's going to make it easier, but I guess one of my concerns is that because the market's so small, I can, with a tool like Instantly, I could rip through that in a month, right? So I don't know if I'm used to going into these big, broad markets where I can just push with the emails. So this would be the first time that I've worked with a market where I literally have to be conscious of not burning through the TAM. So I guess, is there a more long-term cold email strategy that I should be aware of, or is it pretty much just the 4 emails in the sequence?
Yeah, it would be the same approach. Maybe you can, if the market is not that big. I mean, 40,000 people in the market, you can probably spend 1 or 2 or 3 months sending it, getting some results for them. Maybe spend some more time personalizing it, or have a more personalized approach rather than just blasting it out. But I would still go the direct to sale approach.
Sweet. Cool. And then to piggyback off that last question, I was approached by a Canadian accounting firm that wanted me to help with advertising and sales. My understanding was that I could not do cold email basically in any way in Canada, but from what you just said, it sounds like maybe that's not true. Any insight into Canadian cold email?
Peter, you'd have for Canada, you would have to do your own research. I can't give you a legal advice on that. Just double check with somebody.
Okay.
No.
So I'm in Canada and I'm doing cold email. It's not a problem. You just have to have your physical address at the bottom of the email. Technically, That's you have to follow that. But otherwise, I'm good, and I haven't gone sued yet. So, but that's not legal advice.
Okay, so it is
I'll deal with the Canadian sauce.
possible, yeah.
Niels, yeah, thanks for coming on. I have a question. Two questions for you. First, how do you structure your workspaces? For example, if you have like 20 domains and then 3 accounts each, just do like 60 email accounts under one workspace, or do you split it up across multiple workspaces, or how do you do it? I know you touched on that before, but I just wanted to get it again.
Yeah, I would. I mean, if the 60 inboxes are just for one client, then yeah, I would put them under one workspace. The big agencies that are using Instantly, they just got one workspace per client. Sometimes they have 50, 100 separate workspaces.
Cool.
But yeah, if you're getting a lot of workspaces, you can hit me up and we can do like a custom discount.
Cool, yeah, that would be good. It gets expensive, $10, $15 each. So, yeah, thanks for that. And then the other question/comment. I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but on laptops, at least mine, the Instantly UI is very, very difficult to use. Like only 15% of the screen is you can actually read the email, and the side bar takes a lot, and then both the title and the address bar, everything takes a lot of space. Is that something you guys are aware of, or are you guys working on it, or is that not really on your radar?
From which view?
From like the main,
Unibox?
the master inbox view, like the space, like the real estate dedicated to actually read the email is like really, really small on my laptop, like 14-inch laptop, and like we're talking like less than 20% of the screen you can actually see the email. Everything else is just buttons and sidebars and titles.
Yeah, maybe reach out to support. There might be something with your browser or something, because the Unibox, where the email is, that's half of the screen. When I'm looking at mine, usually that's how we set it up.
Cool. Okay. Might be just be my side. Okay. Check it out.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, should be half of the screen at least.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, of course not.
All right, so we got Tate again.
Oh, our golden boy.
One more question for you. So, after the warm up, do you recommend like ramping up to 50, or is it okay to just go straight after the warm up, going right to 50 emails per day?
Yeah, you can go straight to 50.
Sweet. All right,
Yep.
time to turbo ram. But
Yeah. Also, like keep an eye out on the if your campaigns are performing well and you're getting a bunch of replies, then it's also easier to keep up the volume. But if you're barely getting replies, or like performance is not that good, then maybe you have to scale it down a little bit from there. But you can start with 50 right away.
Hello, am I audible?
Yeah, you're on.
All right, awesome. Yeah, so just wanted to follow on from that question that was just asked. Once the warm up is completed, and once we go up to about 50 emails going out from each email account, do we still need to keep the warm up ongoing, like on slow burner, or do we, like, once the emails are completely warmed up, do we like finish off the warm up process for those emails?
Yeah, keep the warm up running at all times. It helps keep your domains and your inboxes alive for longer. So just keep it on. Yeah, don't turn it off.
All right, awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, we got a lot of questions. I don't know what to pick, Nathan. Thoughts on adding links into the copy? Is it always no links, or can you input links sometimes, or is it in the second email or the third email? What's the best practice there?
Yeah, like the rule of thumb is usually just to have the first email as plain text, but I also know people crushing it by just having a link in the first email already. So maybe you can just start like with the fundamentals, no links in the first email. Once you get a little bit more comfortable and you launch like 10, 15, 20 campaigns, you can start experimenting a little bit more, even have a link in the first email. if you want to go more aggressive. Then in terms of like second or third email, you can definitely also add some images or links in there. That usually should work as well. So it's not a hard and fast rule to never have links.
Right, Wes, bring it on.
Yo. I had a question. So of course you're the founder of Instantly, so you pretty much have like a bird's eye view on everyone's campaigns and all the emails going out. So have you ever done an analysis on basically like any successful maybe trends or insights you've seen into your most successful users, like maybe segmenting by job titles, more campaigns, of course, the testing, the number one rule, but any other insights you could share?
So we don't look at specific campaigns, but what we once did is just take all the cold emails and like I showed earlier in the presentation, like analyze 32 million cold emails just in bulk to see kind of what the pattern was there. We figured out the stuff with the follow-up sequences, with domains like .com have the best deliverability. G Suite has best deliverability. Just kind of obvious stuff already. We tried to go into more depth, but we got so busy we dropped the project. So we started once, but we didn't really follow through on those insights there. But yeah.
For sure, that makes sense. I also had a quick one. Will you ever release dark mode? My eyes are bleeding writing copy at night with all the white screen on.
Let me see. Maybe we can add it to it.
I think there should be like an extension you can use, and you can just like switch the CSS. So it's
but it's mad glitchy. Like you can't really see everything properly.
All right, Walid, you got another question?
Yeah, I've got another one. So in terms of the time duration between different emails going out within your sequence, is there like a sort of standard best practice, as in, let's say, wait maybe 3 days or 4 days after the first email and then 2 days after the second? Or is it something that changes from industry to industry? Some insights on that would be great.
Yeah, we usually for our own campaigns we just put either 2 or 3 days between the steps, and there wouldn't be a difference between like step 2 or step 3. So like 2 to 3 days is fine, just as a standard rule of thumb.
Right, got it. Thank you.
Yeah. Of course.
Oh, we have Francis, our UK boy.
Sheesh.
Nils, I've got a question. So you see when you're running campaigns and you've also got warm-ups on, you said to always keep them on. Say if you're doing warm-ups for just straight 50 and you're also sending campaigns, does that kind of like interfere, or does it like decrease the health of the emails, or does it affect anything if you're doing 50 warm-ups and sending campaigns? Does that make sense?
No, you can keep them running at the same time. So let's say you have 50 cold, and then on top of that, you keep it at like 25 warm emails a day. So you're still like in that 75 range, should be fine if you're running both simultaneously. So it's not 50 total, but 50 plus the warm-ups.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Nathan, I know you got fucking billion different questions.
Oh yeah, I got another question as well. Are you a Scandinavian?
No, I'm from Switzerland.
Oh, okay. You broke the pattern.
All right. Gus, are you Scandinavian?
Yeah.
Where are you from?
Denmark.
All right.
So Drippin is asking, can you give us a deal? So can the lead agents get a deal on Instantly?
Asking the real questions.
He needs more
no
workspaces.
deals.
No deals.
Instantly by itself is already a huge deal. Like we do Black Friday every day, guys. It's so cheap.
Okay. But Ilya from Heritage, he gave us a deal, so I bet you can do it also, a small deal, 15-20%, it won't hurt.
Yeah, who did it? Who was it?
Heritage. We have one of the founders here. Ilya, join the, what's it called? The speaker
From Outreach?
board. Oh no, Heritage. Yeah, it's like a LinkedIn tool. So if Ilya can join, he'll give you like a breakdown. It's like Instantly for LinkedIn.
Okay, cool. I'd have to check. I have to check with my marketing team if we can make a discount happen.
Oh, Okay.
But
You're doing
guys, if
something-
you're owners and you have a lot of clients in different workspaces, then like custom pricing is definitely possible.
And one more question. So Mr. Yonat1, he's asking, is there a time frame when you should get rid of a subdomain? So like just switch this to domain. So on average, how long do your domains last? I think that was the question.
Yeah, it depends on like the offer and how good the results are from your campaigns. If you're getting a bunch of positive replies, then your domains will last longer. Which we have some domains that have been around like for 9 to 12 months already. But if you're going aggressive and maybe the offer is not that good, probably longevity of a domain is 3 to 6 months, I'd say. But yeah, if it goes down, you can just buy a new one. It's only $10.
Yeah, so while we're talking about the bounce rate and all of that, what's your favorite, verification tool? So I think like most people use Never Bounce, Zero Bounce, Million Verifier. What do the Instantly guys do? What do they use?
Yeah, so now we're using just our internal in our lead finder. Verification is included, so that's automatic. If you're not using our lead finder, the other two good ones are Million Verifier and Emailable are good ones. Find Email has also good verified data to keep bounce rates low.
Nice. So any more questions? Let's see.
I have a question, Nils. How is I saw that you started running ads to Instantly the other day. How is that performing? Because I saw that you were running it straight to a trial page as the funnel. And in my experience, that is always like the most expensive way to kind of run ads. So I was just wondering how that was going.
Yeah, I can't disclose too much, but it's working well. I mean, obviously, especially retargeting ads.
Yeah.
You can like clients really cheaply, but even like cold acquisition is working well.
Nice. And are you only running Facebook ads, or are you also doing Google and LinkedIn?
Also Google.
Okay.
Facebook ads working the best right now, but we're also running some Google ads. We tried YouTube, but YouTube didn't work; it was too expensive. We tried Twitter, but Twitter didn't work either. But yeah, we're just keeping to these two main ones.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
so
talking.
one more question from.
We tried some other stuff like webinar funnel and all that, and that didn't really work. Like just straight to the trial is working best.
Okay, nice.
Mm-hmm.
We got one more question from Jonas. So do you have direct integration with Salesforce? So is there a possibility to add that feature?
Yeah, that's something we're working on, a native CRM integration. So with Salesforce, HubSpot, Pipedrive, Close, we should have that soon. So building that.
Awesome. Pipedrive is the best, yeah. Way better than Close. Gus will disagree, but okay.
Yeah. Close is the goat.
Okay. So we have a new speaker.
One last speaker before we wrap this up. I know you have to go in 3 minutes, Nils. Come on, Peter. Unmute.
Sorry, I'm unmuted. So yeah, just on that last question. So I had been using Close for years as kind of like the main CRM. I'm considering switching everybody over to Go High Level just because I'm using that for my funnels. So I do both ads and cold outreach for clients. How do you feel about High Level as a CRM? I know it's not perfect, but is it an absolute disaster, or are they going to update it to where it can be kind of the main CRM?
Yeah, I heard really good things about Go High Level. I know a lot of people that use it in conjunction with Instantly. Also in our community, like people say it's a really good tool. So right now, I think like Go High Level and Close are the two favorite CRMs by people that are being used.
Okay, yeah, because I love Close. I thought it was excellent, but the convenience of having everything just in one place, and then also the way the sub accounts are structured so that like onboarding clients is so simple and easy. It almost makes the limitations of the CRM and it's a little slower. I would say that's like the main thing. Close is like just everything's fast, easy to get to. But as an agency owner, the convenience of Go High Level for the clients sort of overrides that. But I was curious your thoughts. Anyways.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, and Peter, one thing also, I was thinking about your question, with the smaller market, smaller time, and one thing that came to mind is we had once this client, she had a marketing agency, but very niche. She only helped like green, eco-driven, organic bio brands, So the target market was pretty small. And what we did there is just like charge her a setup fee, right? If you want to either like do direct to sale or work in a consultative way with them, I would like charge them like a setup fee, and then just send like low volume, do like hyper personalized emails is what we did for her. We only sent like 100, 150 emails a day, but we got like 2, 3, 4 positive replies a day. And then we charge her per positive reply, and we just were able to keep that running. And we had a VA write the personalized lines. Now you can do it with AI, but that's how I would set it up. Like just going back to your previous question, just remind me of that story.
Sweet. So speaking of that, now that's another question. So do you find AI personalization to be useful at all? Because every single time I have looked at it or tried it, I was like, I just would not send this to somebody. Are you seeing that?
Yeah. I mean, for us right now, with our internal campaigns, the best performing one is where the bulk of the email is AI generated. So it definitely works. You just have to like play around with the prompts a little bit and get that right. But our like best performing campaign is with AI personalization right now. It's very scalable.
Interesting. Where do they get the data for the personalization? Just LinkedIn?
Yeah, it's mostly through the LinkedIn description. It does a couple things from with that input. I can't share too much, unfortunately.
I was just going to ask if you could maybe share an example of the personalization, because the stuff I've seen, just it almost is like a dead giveaway that it's AI. And maybe it's like you said, maybe I'm not playing around with the prompts enough.
I'll give you one tip. So I know what the thread is. I can like also share it because it's too good of sauce. So it's one tool. That's all I can tell you. So you use one tool.
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of like quick lines or something. Like there's lots of tools, but
no. You use one tool. So think about it a bit. You'll figure it out.
I got a quick question, Nils. In your experience, what's a good booking rate? Like per 1,000 emails sent, what would you consider a good booking rate?
Yeah, good booking rate, 1 to 2%. Probably doing well.
Okay, cool. And what's like the best you've seen?
Best I've seen, the other day I've seen one that was like doing over 5% appointment booking rate.
Well, that's good. Good to know. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
So
can you share the niche and offer on that one?
No, I can't share that, unfortunately. Wouldn't be fair to the person.
Ilya has one question. So what he would like to see is that Instantly maybe create some SMTP servers or something similar, so we can stop paying for Outlook and Workspace.
It's something we're looking at. Just integrating into Instantly, but there's other like SMTP servers outside of the standard ones, so like the standard email boxes like G Suite or Outlook. If you go to our community, you'll see like a couple that are being mentioned from time to time. I can't recommend them specifically. We'll have to test it in-house as well to make sure they're legit, but there's a bunch of other SMTP servers you can use as well.
Yeah, I would always suggest stick to, the pro and stuff, and then like if someone gets the data to see if it works, if it doesn't work, then switch to that. But I think like you see what happened to Zoho, and one day, we all got, shut down because they stopped liking us, stopped liking our money. So stick to Outlook and, Workspace.
There's still people running with Zoho, actually. They just turned off the warm-up, but they're still running the inboxes. Sometimes works, sometimes doesn't, but sometimes gets banned.
All right, so I think Stu's got one last question, and then I think you have to go, right, Nils?
Yeah. yeah, gotta wrap it up, but can do one more.
Snooze. Take it away. Otherwise, we'll wrap it up.
Snooze, don't sleep. Don't sleep. Don't snooze. Snooze, don't snooze.
Don't snooze. All right, let's just wrap it up.
Okay, he's
Nils.
muted. So Pete, maybe, or Francis.
No, that's it.
Nils, thank you so much for coming. Amazing value. I think everyone got a lot of value out of this. And maybe you'll participate a little bit in the community because now you are officially part of the inner circle. But thanks for hopping on. It was very, very valuable. And guys, maybe get some emojis in the chat for Nils.
Yeah, let's see them. Loads.
Yeah, awesome, man. Yeah, guys, Nathan, thanks for having me on. It was a fun session. And yeah, always good to talk to other
the sauce. Yeah, the sauce
DGen agency owners.
Yeah. So you're officially at lead DGen now, so we hope to see you a bit more here, you
know. Yeah, awesome. All
right, Nils, thanks for coming, man. I appreciate it. And speak soon.
Yeah, speak soon, everybody.
Yes, sir.
Thanks everyone.
Thanks for coming,
Thanks
everyone.
For coming on.
Did you record this one through OBS also?
Yes, sir.
Oh, nice.